Hello again everyone and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Crystal. Nice to meet you. In today's video I'm going to be doing a hopefully quick, easy tutorial, hopefully easy brow tutorial on how I fill in my eyebrows. I know I have naturally decently filled brows, but this would work even if you have like, you know, patchy brows or hardly anything there. It'll work the same either way. Because I still do fill in the whole thing instead of just like filling in the little gaps. So this would work. This should work for you regardless. Alright, so what I use typically, unless I'm in a hurry, if I have time to do my brows, this is how I do my brows. Let's put it that way. Alright, so I have the ABH Dip Brow. This is in ash brown. And then I've just got, this is the It Cosmetics Flawless Liner / Brow Brush. It's got the little spoolie on one end and with some lint in it, and then it's just a tight, flat, angled brush on the other end. And again, this is going to be fairly quick and fairly simple. Alright, let's zoom in a little bit, or a lot. Let's see how old I am for real. Okay, alright, so I know this is very up close and personal. I'm uncomfortable. I hope you're uncomfortable too. So all I do is grab a mirror, and then I just take the spoolie part and brush through my natural hair, which I do need to trim it because it is fairly long. Okay, then I take the little angled brush and I dip it into the pomade, like so. Work it around. Oh, you can't see that. Work it around and then just kind of scrape off the edge to make it a nice tight line. And then I start at the bottom and then I do the top outlines. So I'll start like right about there. I don't go all the way in because I don't want this to be like super bold, but I'll start like right about here and line the bottom. And then I do the same thing, dip it in, scrape off the excess to get a nice little tight line, and then about the same area on top. I start lower than my normal hair starts, just because if I don't want it to be too big, because if I do too much, then it's harder to take off than it is to just add some more. And then follow the natural line of my brow. And then now I've got the outline in there, so now I'll just take some more goop and fill it in. And I do this very haphazardly, but also coloring within the lines. Okay, and then when I get to the front, I don't dip it back in, I just use what's already on my brush, and then I just kind of go across the top part and the bottom. I don't make a line like a lot of people do because I don't like that harsh line. It's just preference. If you like it, cool, but I don't. And then I make little hair strokes here and there randomly, but I don't go all the way to the middle, or I guess the end of my brow, just because I want my natural hairs to be right there. Now if you don't have natural hairs, then yeah, for sure, make little strokes up in here to make it look like hair strokes. And then after that's all done and filled, I just brush it through ever so lightly. You don't want to go too ham on it, because if you go too far, then you can scrape your product back over here, which I guess wouldn't be an issue because you can just wipe it off or use concealer. And then that way I can see like any gaps that I have, which it looks like it's a little bit lower than I usually do, so I'm gonna dip back in. And carefully fill in that top part. Alright, and that is how I do my brows. Now, after this is how I usually do it on like a day-to-day basis. If I have time. If I don't have time, then I just take the Benefit Gimme Brow and I just run that through real quick, and it's got like little, well, it's like a tinted gel. I need to get some more, but here, I'll do the Beauty Guru thing. but it's like a tinted gel, and well, I'll just show you what it does. It doesn't do a whole lot. Obviously it doesn't fill it in like that, but it does give it a little bit more fullness. So I mean, there's two different ways that I usually do it. If I don't have time, I do this. If I do have time, I do this. And then if I'm really going like for a full glam look, wow, it looks crazy. If I'm going for a full glam look, then I will line this with concealer, which I guess I can show you. Let's just go ahead and do that, shall we? And for this, I'm grabbing the concealer. It's right here. It is the Magic Star in C5. And a concealer brush, which I don't have. Un momento. Okay, so I'm washing my brushes, the majority of them. So I'm using a really tiny, this is a Real Techniques one. It says it's an accent brush, but it's flat and it's got a rounded head, so I'm gonna use it as a concealer brush. It's normally the brushes that I use, or the brush that I use for my concealer is a little bit bigger than this, but this'll do. So I just plop some on here, close enough to my eyebrow. And then I take my little brush, grab some product, and slowly line. Ooh, I'm getting serious. Line below. And a little bit above. And this, I know it looks crazy right now, but I'll use a sponge and it gets rid of all the excess and stuff. So this is if you want like a really, really defined brow, you would use the concealer after you fill it in. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a sponge. So I've got my little sponge. This is nothing fancy, it's just a Real Techniques mini sponge, which I got pretty sure at Target, because that's where I get all my crap at. Or I mean fine goods. But while that is wet, I go close, but not all the way to the line, because I don't want to jack up my brow. And just kind of buff the concealer out. And then after that, you know, obviously I would do foundation and all that nonsense, and it would all blend in very nicely, hopefully. So that's how I do my brow. So I'm gonna do the other one just so you can see it. By the way, when I get all done, after I get my whole face done, and because I will put powder on my face, because I put powder on my face after I do my brows, some of the powder gets in there. That is when I will go in with the Gimme Brow after I'm done with the rest of my face, and use it on top of the dip brow stuff that I did, and that kind of gets rid of all the powder, and it makes it look not so dusty. So that's what I do. All right, I'm gonna do both my brows and then come back and something, I don't know. Okay, so now that's both of them done. Again, I've pointed this out before, but just in case anybody's new here, my eyebrows are not even. They never will be even. They might look similar, but one always sits higher than the other one because the muscles on my face are not the same on both sides. It happens to my lips too, like one side sits higher or lower than the other. I'm asymmetrical, and that is just life. Or at least that's my life. So there you have it. There's my brow tutorial. It is as easy as it possibly can be. You can also do this with an eye pencil. You don't have to actually have the dip brow if you don't want to spend the money on that. Or I think I've seen people use the e.l.f. and they say that's very comparable to ABH. I haven't used, I think I used the e.l.f. and I don't think I felt the same way, but, or maybe it was ColourPop. I think it was ColourPop. Anyway, you don't have to use ABH dip brow is what I'm saying here. You can even use a brow pencil, because sometimes if I'm in a hurry, a pencil is just easier because I don't have to dip it in and then get off the excess and put it on there. So anyway, use whatever product you're comfortable with, and practice makes perfect, or practice makes asymmetry. Alright, if you guys have any questions, you know what to do, comment below. Please follow me on all my social media. Everything is at Beauty by Abel. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye!